Hey assholes, welcome to Patriarchal Bastards episode 7? Are we on 7, scumbag?
Yes.
Thank God he's here. I forget stuff. He's like my smart little Texan. Okay, well, it's good to have you back, scumbag, and Sharkfoot is joining us again this week.
Yep, what's going on?
So last time we talked about JonTron and the controversy with him, and that episode actually did really well, and I think we added some new fans, so thank you for all the people who watched that episode, and I appreciate it, and really liked your comments, especially from that one guy that said the video was too long and I needed to upload it into 15-minute parts.
Yeah, so we're actually going to be doing in this video. It's actually going to be a 20-part web series of this one episode, so if you could follow the link in the description and help us out, thank you.
No, it's not.
Yeah, we're going to only do 10-minute segments of the podcast and upload them over, like... You know how much of an ad revenue whore I would look like if I did that? If I just uploaded the podcast in segments?
Apparently not at all, because that's what the guy wants you to do.
Because I thought...
fans have spoken.
No, I thought about that. It's like, wait, you guys want me to, like, whore out for more money? And more views.
Instead of Katy Perry.
Instead of just giving you all the content in one package and letting you like pause and choose it and everything, instead it's like, nah, dude, I want 10-minute spurts of this shit, and I want you to make as much money. I mean, I appreciate it. God damn.
That's like dropping cocaine for crack. Just makes no sense.
No, but I'm not giving the guy shit. He's a subscriber and he watches my videos and I like his stuff. I just thought that was funny. Like it's like okay, I'll try.
Just for you, we're gonna take a minute off it.
Yeah, just for you. This will be. I'm determined to make this the shortest episode of a Patriarchal.
It'll be 89 minutes instead of 90 minutes.
Yeah,
just for you.
Well, I love an hour and a half podcast. Isn't like people act like that's long. Some podcasts are 3.5 hours. Joe Rogan's podcast is like 4-hour shows.
Oh God, yeah.
I know a lot of podcasts are like 45 minutes, but that's just not the way I like to roll. I like to talk and
you talk too damn much.
I do. I understand. Yeah, it's true. It sucks. It's so weird.
It took forever to start the podcast because you kept talking about stuff.
I know. No, I know. It sucks to be really intelligent and have really smart things to say about everything.
We're not saying you're stupid. We're just saying you talk a lot.
No.
There's a difference. I mean, you're not stupid. You just.
I didn't say. I was joking.
You're not, RJ. It's okay. You're not stupid.
I'm not stupid.
You're not stupid.
Hey, to be fair, YouTube is a site built around people who talk too much.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean,
but you do talk too much.
Yeah, I mean, I do have to make fair. Like, the only way you can really make it on YouTube is if you have a little bit of self-obsession on some level, I think. Because I don't think you can make a bunch of videos with yourself in them all the time.
Speaking of YouTube.
Yeah, speaking of YouTube, this episode is going to be very YouTube-based. But it does still have political SJW things about it because it's, it involves that kind of content. And one of the things we're going to cover is a hit piece on some YouTubers from Polygon, where they basically say don't let your kids watch YouTube gaming channels because of all of them being racist or sexist and stuff like that. And they think kids are so dumb that kids aren't smart enough to go take like a restriction off something to watch something. It's like, oh yeah, when I went to the porn site, are you old enough? Enter, not enter. Huh. Well, I guess I should tell the truth.
How much is minus 18 off of the current year?
Wait, hold on.
Right.
It's the only time I've ever done math in my life.
No, I'm not paying attention to what's going on. I'm sorry.
It's asking for a date here. Well, all I do is put in 18 minus the current year.
Basically, what happened is the YouTube introduced some new things with the monetization system and some restrictions recently, and they seem like they're changing the site, and they've been changing the site a lot for, I'd say, the last year or two. The site's been changing quite a bit. And a lot of content creators have seen, their channels get affected by that, and there's a lot of theories as to what it all means and everything, and we're going to give our opinions and try to give the most balanced view of this, I think there is, because I think everyone's doing one extreme to another on videos on this. It's either like, YouTube's out to get us, or, it's all bullshit. And it's like, I think two things could be true at the same time. I think YouTube can have a political bias and also be making a business decision.
Mm-hmm.
I think both those things can be true at the same time without it meaning that, like, one of those things is the direct reason that YouTube seems to want less original content creators and more TV, Jimmy Fallon, more which we had a kind of a conversation about this before the podcast started, but we kind of talked about the debate whether that was a good idea or not in the long term for YouTube. If they should invest in the content creators like iDubbbz or Ethan and help them get to 20, 30 million hits, or if they should just bring in like network people and just take those hits and try to keep the TV world alive for the next 10 years.
Why? Like,
yeah, I don't... Is someone talking?
Not.
Someone's TV's on in the background, I think.
Oh, yeah, I hear a TV, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh,
Not mine.
no, it's probably me. Give me 1 second.
No, I was
you
just
guys go ahead.
confused. Okay, but Scumbag, how you been doing, man?
I'm been great. Just great.
No, you have the best life I know. Like, you guys, if you guys knew Scumbag's life, he's probably the most privileged person I know.
Yeah, I mean, I only want to commit suicide once a day now.
No, and most people it's like 5, 6.
Yeah, most people it's like several times a day. To me, it just comes to my mind once, maybe twice on a bad day.
Jacking off. Yeah.
You know what screwed our generation? We didn't have Quaaludes. That's why we're not happy.
Right?
Everyone else, like, when they were in a bad mood, they're like, I want to take a Quaalude.
Oh, they're called Valiums now, I believe.
They're not. That's not the same as a Quaalude.
You take a lot of them, it doesn't matter, does it?
We got like the McDonald's of the Quaalude. But they had like the steak dinner. But yeah, I basically want to talk about this stuff and also some news. I've been talking with Hard Bastard. I got a hold of him recently, who's a YouTube content creator. It's very similar to my stuff, and I'm trying to get him to come on the show or come onto a video to do an interview or something and just talk about what's going on and that stuff. I'm a big fan of his work now that I've seen it. And a lot of you in the comments have mentioned him, and so I'm trying to make that happen. It's not a certain thing, but you never know. So there might be some kind of collaboration coming soon with Hard Bastard, or he might come on the podcast and talk with us, which I think would be awesome. I would love to bring a guest on to the show. All right, you guys want to jump in?
Yeah, I thought we already did.
Well, I mean, like, we're recording. I mean the name. Oh, you know, I just thought, too, his name's Hard Bastard, and you'd be joining the Patriarchal Bastards.
That'd be beautiful.
That'd be pretty badass, I'm not going to lie. I also did a Q&A video recently, and that was a lot of fun, although there was some really weird fucking questions. This is from the Wall Street Journal. This is the same site that wrote that, PewDiePie hit piece originally. WSJ. Google steps up effort to keep ads away from controversial content. Alphabet unit acts after backlash over ads displayed next to fake news or terrorist videos. Targets include content that attacks or harasses. Google sought to tamp down on a growing controversy over its placements of ads of inappropriate content with the promise to better police the millions of websites and videos across its platform. So here's my question. What is the inappropriate content?
Yeah, Google likes to be extra vague with stuff like this. I understand why, because, well, they say certain things and it shows their bias, right? I believe they are a little biased too. They're biased towards clean, friendly, non-controversial content in their eyes. But I mean, I think we all know that controversy could be anything.
It could be
right?
a Prince song.
It could be Disney. There's been Disney stuff that's been controversial.
Yeah.
There's been everything under the sun that's been controversial. I think Google is fighting a losing battle here.
I agree with you because I don't know what the plan is, because internet, you can't really censor it the way you can television. Like, you can't say... Like, Netflix has a television platform, but Google can't say, okay, well, on YouTube, we're not going to allow, like, swearing or fucked up humor. It's like, well, does that include iDubbbz type humor? What does that mean? Like, what's the limits? Like, if you say the N-word in a video anymore, is that video going to be taken down? And what happened...
I think it'll...
I'm sorry, keep going.
I think it'll have to do more with how tags are set up. Hopefully, if that's all it is, because then you can just work around it by being not as controversial with your tags.
Yeah.
But I somehow think Google's gonna find a way to fuck it up.
They always do.
They usually do.
Yeah.
I like the use of the word police.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah,
We're gonna go and bring martial law down on YouTube now because some guy said nigger. Holy shit.
I think every episode since you've come on Sharkfoot, we've dropped the N-word. It's been pretty impressive.
Yeah, I try to keep consistency, you know.
Yeah, you've brought us back into our real shit, man. Me and Scumbag were pussing it over here. You made us raw.
Raw dog. How I do it.
Well, the thing that happened with me is that I recently had a couple videos unmonetized, and they were my PewDiePie videos. And I was wondering why, and this article came out like the day that happened, which is, it's just a coincidence, but it was really funny because it's pretty much what they're talking about here. Like that kind of content. Like, I mentioned PewDiePie's Nazi stuff in that video because I had to talk about it. I defend him, and I have some pictures in the video that have him buy comedic stuff with Nazis, and I'm certain that's why I got unmonetized. And they're like, that's not advertiser friendly. And I can get that, but my problem is, are they going to be that way with everyone? Or is it just going to be jokes like that? Because I could say, like, a lot of videos are offensive in another way like that. Like, I don't think Nazi stuff... Also, the internet, like, you're going to try to, like, hold down swastikas or, like, Nazi memes. That's pretty much 90% of the internet at this point. Like, they're actually forming this internet Nazi comedy party because they're doing that just to mock this stuff. And that's really not a good thing. But they don't care because they think they have to shut down. Like, there's people in this country right now, there's a predominant amount of people that think there's like this rising Nazi party in America, and it's very strange. And
my neighbor feels that way.
I meet people that way all the time. I meet people all the time, they tell me, they're like, yeah, dude, there's like thousands of Nazis ready to...
It's like a cultism or something. It's weird.
I'm like, well, dude, there's a lot of... Yeah, there's a lot of people out there that are going to do stuff. I don't think there's a group of Nazis together. I don't think they go have like coffee meetings together and talk about stuff they're going to do. I mean, maybe. Oh, I got to tell you guys a story. Actually, I was at a Fox News live chat the other day watching Tucker Carlson, and the typical stuff was happening. You know, like the Tucker Carlson face and stuff like that. And then this guy comes in. They're talking about this girl that got raped by these immigrants, and and the guy comes on the newscaster and he's like, she was raped brutally here in this spot. And he tells the story, and I'm like, okay, this is pretty intense. And the whole time everyone's just making jokes. And then this guy comes up with like dreadlocks and he starts vaping, and then the whole comment section just blows up like Vape Nation, Vape, and he's doing like tricks and shit like that.
What the fuck?
There's this thing, I gotta say, the live stream way to watch TV or shows, like where you talk to people while you're watching it, lots of fun. I really like it. Like, it's really entertaining to talk to people while you're watching shit, especially if you're in a group of people that are cool. Like, if you're not in, like, just some normie zone. But... Right. Okay, let's get more into this article. The company has faced a powerful backlash from advertisers. Sorry, I turned retarded. Over the past... Maybe I am stupid. Over the past several years.
Yeah, you are.
HSBC Holdings, PLC, and L'Oreal SA reduced spending with the technology. Oh, great, we can't advertise L'Oreal anymore.
Oh, shit.
They were all over my shit. The technology giant, after news reports that Google regularly placed its ads on controversial websites or YouTube videos, including some made by supporters of terrorist groups such as the Islamic State and a violent pro-Nazi faction. Oh, damn, I was going to buy that L'Oreal, but I saw this ad on this Nazi video, and it just doesn't really work anymore.
I can't do it.
I washed my hair last night, and all of a sudden I just wanted to kill Jews.
No, it's so racist. What? Google and other internet giants such as Facebook have long aimed to position themselves as neutral platforms. Connecting users and advertisers with content created by others. That approach helped Google build the world's largest advertising business, in part by selling ads on far ends of the internet with sometimes edgy content. But with estimates showing spending on digital ads surpassing that on television, ads last year in the U.S. increasing scrutiny from advertisers is forcing internet companies to take more responsibility for the content on which they run ads. Under policies unveiled Tuesday, Google, a unit Alphabet Inc., said it would pull more advertising from controversial websites and videos and gives marketers more control and visibility over where their ads appear. Google also said it would employ more people and technology to enforce the policies. We know the advertisers don't want their ads next to content that doesn't align with their values, Google Chief Business Officer Philip Schindler said in the blog post Tuesday. So starting Tuesday, we're taking a tougher stance on hateful, offensive, and derogatory content. See, that shit's scary to me. I mean, I don't want to get conspiracy theory. I'm not saying it, but that scares me, honestly, hearing that stuff. Like, we're going to get harsher on policing YouTube content, and it's controversial. I mean, to me, controversial just means pretty much my content or content like that.
It's controversial is anything that people can argue over, which could be
anything.
Two differing opinions is almost everything.
It looks like YouTube's just kind of like slowly bubbling around itself, and all the cool people are just going to leave there. You know, like,
I think the main people that make the site good are going to leave. Yeah, I don't think like Leafy's never going to go anywhere in that, but iDubbbz could go do something else and people would go watch it.
Yeah.
One thing I don't understand about Google is they kind of on Twitter they'll have like, oh, this YouTuber said this funny thing here, right? But YouTube doesn't really talk about the stuff that makes it unique, the stuff that makes its content unique. Why people go to YouTube. They just don't. They want to talk about Seth Meyers and fucking what's his name?
Jimmy Fallon. Yeah, every video.
Yeah, these things are on NBC. Like I can watch TV for this stuff. This is nothing unique here.
I have cable, goddammit. I pay it. Like, for fuck's sakes.
Well, like YouTube is, yeah, people can go on there for that, and that's fine. I'm not saying YouTube should remove that content. I'm saying YouTube should be a bit more proactive in talking about the content that makes it unique, stuff you can only on YouTube.
They have too much distance from the people who actually provide their site with all the content, and they're just up there as the creators of YouTube.
And YouTube has gotten, I agree that YouTube has gotten lucky that there hasn't been a big competitor to it.
Right.
I mean, Twitch kind of steals some gaming content away here and there, but like as far as like what iDubbbz does or what H3H3 or even what like people in the skeptic community do, you can't really get that anywhere else but on YouTube. It only really works on YouTube, right? And there hasn't been a YouTube-like competitor to come in and go, well, we'll take these guys, we're going to give them a better deal. We're going to give them more control over their content, how it's presented on our website, how it's presented on this platform. Google just doesn't care, right? And hopefully one day there will be a competitor that can kind of just slap them in the fucking face and go, you're losing people that you really should have tried to keep.
Yeah, and then they could get a monopoly on the market and then become the new Google and fuck everybody over, and then we can get told what to do and they'll start policing us again.
And then we'll go to another website. We'll be here 10 years from now. Patriarchal bastards canceled again on minds.com. Now we got to shut these bastards down and go somewhere else.
It's just gonna keep happening. It's like there's a mass exodus coming, gentlemen.
Scumbag, I gotta say, you made a really good point that I want to go back to, actually, because I think it was a very wise point. Actually, I think it showed like you may have had a good career in advertising, because I think you made a great point. You said YouTube doesn't focus on the unique content that makes YouTube. Every platform that advertises in the world, what do they advertise? CBS. You want to watch the sitcoms with Big Bang Theory and that? Watch CBS. You want to watch NCIS? Watch NBC for the handheld camera shows and Saturday Night Live.
And the million fucking Law and Order reboots they have now.
And HBO. Watch HBO. We put on Game of Thrones, adult content, R-rated, intense stuff. You pay a subscription. Netflix. We do Marvel, Stranger Things. You have to come to Netflix to watch Stranger Things. Sure, you can go download and torrent it, but don't you want to just stream it and watch it on Netflix? Come on. And YouTube, in no single fucking way at all, on any good level, goes and finds those content creators that are unique to YouTube, that make YouTube special, and push them at the front of the website. And that is a fucking dead on point about YouTube's biggest flaw. Google does not care about the content creators, and no business platform does do that. You think Netflix is not kissing the asses of those little kids from fucking... I'm sure after they got raped after the first season. They probably stopped raping them after season 1. Those kids were like, no, I'm fucking you.
Not the black guy.
No, the black kids. The black kids.
They don't touch the black kid.
There's no way around that. But Dustin, that kid's got some shit going on. But yeah, that's the thing. Like Daredevil and all that, they're kissing their ass. But with YouTube, they're basically just antagonistic with the content creators. They don't want to work with them at all. Mm-hmm. And that to me, like, I hate to say it, I think you almost summed it up dead on in the first 20 minutes. I think that's exactly the problem, is they don't focus on the idiosyncratic people on YouTube, like I do.
In the podcast, done. See you guys.
Well, no, I think that was a really good point, though. That was dead on. I've never heard anyone say that way, but that makes the most sense, really. Because in a broader way.
YouTube's content is it has so much varying content. You have what like iDubbbz do. What iDubbbz does. What H3H3, the content these people make, they're similar. But then you have like stuff that you can go if you want to watch stuff about vinyl records or old hardware or horror or whatever you're into. There is a channel out there to watch, right? Mm-hmm. YouTube isn't talking about that they can bring in any type of content besides porn, of course, and they could get views for it, right?
Yeah,
some will vary, but like you can get so much variant content on YouTube. Yet YouTube is talking about the recaps of television shows and the funny videos that people make giggling about reaction videos, right?
You know, my most hated one is that James Corbin guy doing the karaoke with celebrities in the car.
That is the cheapest content. I absolutely agree.
That guy's whole comedy routine is cheap content. He just hangs out with the celebrity and does some bullshit thing with them, and they're like, "Man, you see he's trending with 10 million views." I'm like, "Yeah, if I had Katy Perry in a car with me, I'm pretty sure 10 million people would watch that too."
It is cheap content. It's easy content for them to make. And yet people go watch it on their lunch break or at home. Older people do. But the youth, like you were saying before we started, what are the youth watching? What is youth? What they're watching? They're watching iDubbbz, Filthy Frank. They're
Baron, probably.
H3. They're watching all kinds of stuff. PewDiePie. They're watching gaming stuff. They're not watching this recap of shit that their parents watch at fucking 10 at night. They're not watching that shit. They don't care. And the youth, that is who's going to be watching YouTube over the long term. That is who's going to keep the site alive. If it's going to be kept alive, it's going to be from the youth, not from their parents.
Well, you know, you were talking earlier about different kinds of content. My favorite content on YouTube isn't the content that I do or a lot of other content, and I think Sharkfoot might agree with me. My favorite thing on YouTube's horror. I think the creepypasta videos, the horror story videos, I think the short films there's one I just showed him called There's a Man in the Woods. I think that stuff's scarier than anything anywhere. I don't think there's anywhere else on the internet you can go find so much scary content in a huge number of things. And it only really works on YouTube because YouTube almost has this found footage thing about it. Inherently, it has this unsolved mysteries feel when you watch a video on YouTube.
Like ARGs, you have like alternate reality games.
Yeah.
You have like
like I always come on just for like the music and also to watch cartoon shorts and whatnot.
Me too. And YouTube,
to learn some things about stuff I want to learn about.
Why didn't YouTube decide to be a platform for animators when it could have been? They had all this original animated content that was brilliant, and they said, "Hey, why don't we become like a Cartoon Network for the internet?" And they didn't want to. They didn't want to do that. I think it would have taken over too. I think those videos would get millions and millions of views if they had a deal with like if they would have done Rick and Morty, and they could have. If they would have done BoJack Horseman.
Talking about animators, like they actually went against animators.
They did
with having longer videos get more money, right?
And a lot of videos too. You had to upload a lot.
Yes, a giant fuck you to animators because animating isn't something you can just do in a couple of days. It takes you months and months to make.
How do you know, Scumbag? Have you ever made anything?
I have not.
Animation? Then how would you know? Maybe it's really easy and they're just lazy bastards and they need to get their shit together.
Yeah, Scumbag, you didn't know, like, I saw The Incredibles get made on a DVD and I think it was like 15 minutes. I just got on a computer and like rendered it.
Have you not seen the guy draw out Akira in like 10 minutes?
Yeah, dude, you ever played a video game that was made in a month? It always works great.
Yeah, it fucking sucks. Like when it's made, it takes a year.
But that's a fair point because the thing about the animators is like Netflix wouldn't tell the Stranger Things people like, hey, you have to come out with this earlier. They let them having longer than they had before. Or like HBO with Game of Thrones, it's coming out later this year because they're giving them the time. But they go to the animators and they go, oh, you guys are making this great original content that's blowing up YouTube, and no, we don't want this. Sorry.
We want videos you can put out weekly. Fuck off. Get the fuck out of here.
We want you to talk to a camera and make jokes and stuff. Like, we don't want you to actually work on something that's art, because fuck that. And YouTube's completely against web series. I've known Shark for a few years. He could tell you right now. We've tried to do, 3 or 4 different web series on YouTube?
I think it was like 7.
Yeah. And they were all, I honestly think, really well thought out and could have had an audience, but there's no way you can ever find one on YouTube for that. You can't have an original show with an original name, with original characters and original story, and expect anyone to fucking watch that on YouTube unless you're already established. Because YouTube doesn't set the formatting for that at all. They don't have anything for we were making 30-minute pilot sitcom type stuff with scripts and acting and you only get 100 hits at best. And I go look around, there's nothing like that on YouTube. I mean, the closest we have to short film type stuff is what Ethan does sometimes in iDubbbz, but for the most part, most of the big YouTubers, they don't really make something that holds.
There's no money in it,
and that is so. I mean, YouTube you think would be great for the web series, right? You think it'd be just a great idea because you could have like you guys are doing, get together in a weekend and make some stuff, and there you go, right? There's something. I don't really know the word for it, but there's something unique about that, I guess, to reuse that word. And you can't get that because Netflix, you have to wait for years to make the content, or in network TV, it takes a while to do this, right? But YouTube could go off that and say, hey, you want a series you want to do on the cheap, you don't know how to distribute it though? Well, here, it's free. Just upload it yourself, right? DIY.
That's the thing, because our biggest issue was budget,
YouTube's
right?
Like, nah.
Because we had to do all this stuff and pay it for ourselves. If YouTube would have if they'd go to someone, and I'm not saying me, I'm just saying someone like that could get a following, and they go, hey, we'll give you like 15 grand to make a show, and you'll put it on YouTube, and we'll get it out there. They'd make that money back in a day.
I'm not even talking about like giving people money. I'm just saying like
giving them supporting it.
YouTube eliminates the need for a distributor.
I know. And
it eliminates
why aren't there independent films on YouTube?
There's not. Studio for a network. It eliminates that. There's no.
They cut out the middleman. They allow you to be the producer and the distributor on your own.
YouTube is not. That's what the whole broadcaster stuff is supposed to be. Like you're supposed to be.
That was the motto.
Hence
YouTube.
You want to promote Seth Meyers and Jimmy Fallon and the networks that are already established and are fading, right?
I think
you want to give them the money.
I think it's just become too big for them to handle, and they're just making rash decisions to try to do that to be safe. So all these companies are promising them money, and so they already got
Like, I get YouTube worrying about its advertisers and the people that are investing in it, because that's where their money comes from, right? They need that. But they just completely listen to one side of it and just don't even listen to what the creators want to say. The creators are what's making drawing people in. You have to listen to them and the advertisers at the same time. I get advertisers not wanting to have an ad for a controversial video about dirty, naughty things. I understand that, right? But YouTube has it on there, right? Maybe you should negotiate with people.
Right.
Because if these advertisers, they don't want to have an ad on a Filthy Frank video, okay, well, people are watching that, so if that's what's drawing them in, so if they don't have an ad on that fucking thing, well, they're losing money. They're not getting their name out there.
Well, also, the thing is, we were talking about it in a chat earlier that, back in the day, a lot of people don't remember now because you have to be a little older of YouTube to know, but when they first introduced the ad revenue partner system, it was really fucking hard to become a YouTube partner. Like,
yeah, it was more difficult.
You had to apply. I remember back on one of my old channels, I applied like 3 different times and got rejected 3 different times. And I had videos with like 400,000 hits on this channel. I had a really good channel. No, couldn't get it. Then years later, I start Renaissance Man. You get it immediately as soon as you start the channel. You get ad revenue monetization, and I think in retrospect that might have been a mistake because they couldn't control the ad revenue system after that point, and it got out of hand.
Yeah, I remember back in like 2009, that's how it was. You had fewer channels, and it was like a bigger deal, and you got partnered. Now, you have your channel open for a week, and you can monetize your videos. Well,
you know what? Who they had partnered with? And here's where YouTube really, really messed up. Here's where I think, to go back to the content creators, let's bring this up. Why didn't YouTube ever go and make a contract deal with the Angry Video Game Nerd to do a show? Why did they let they let MTV go make that deal? Why did they let Screw Attack make that deal? Why did they let Game Trail? That's all MTV. Spike. Why didn't they go to James Rolfe and say, hey, we'll pay you to do Angry Video Game Nerd a show, which had 1 million hits on average every episode, and he was raved on and critically acclaimed. He was one of the first web series to actually be acclaimed as like a good series. And why didn't you go to him and say, hey, let's do this? And right now, James Rolfe would still be in the top 10 most subscribed people on YouTube. But because YouTube never worked with him, ever, he never got that way. And now he's just kind of an old legend of YouTube. But he should have been there at the beginning with YouTube. They should have made his content the basis of the website.
He'll always be YouTube royalty.
Well, they instead they went with Smosh, and that really ended up backfiring in the long run because Smosh is almost irrelevant now, even though their videos still get hits. They thought that was the future. They didn't know stuff like iDubbbz. They didn't realize that, like, no, people are going to watch good stuff. Smosh was a gimmick.
And it comes from Google being too scared to make risks like this. Yeah, that's why you see like people like Netflix, and Netflix did what Miranda Sings, which is it's more of a kid thing, I think. But hey, Netflix couldn't make a deal with iDubbbz. He wants to do a TV show. Well, Netflix couldn't.
All Netflix has done is taken risks. When Netflix started, it was like, we're going to put movies on this platform, TV shows. Then they started doing original content, and every time people have criticized it, it's worked out totally. They haven't had really any major failures business-wise. All they're just like, oh, you're putting Full House on here again, and it's like huge.
Nice. They play off the nostalgia card pretty well.
They do, and they have something for everyone on Netflix. Like, yeah, I may not watch Fuller House, but I'm going to watch Daredevil.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch Stranger Things.
The Office.
Well, I believe in the HBO format. I think HBO figured this out years ago, and everyone's just been trying to catch up with the subscription to the content. Because YouTube, yeah, if they would have supported the original series and the original film, like we said, independent films, why isn't YouTube just filled with great independent films from filmmakers? It's just because that stuff doesn't get supported.
They are. It is. It's just they're lost in the bowels of obscurity.
You don't see. I have a couple movies on there that like have no hit that are like from years ago that I made, and they're not good, but like nobody ever watches that stuff on YouTube. There's no way you'll get views on there, and that I think that's where they needed to. That's where I think where they fucked up. They gave too many people partnerships, and then they ruined the whole idea of the monetization system, because monetization should have only went to people that were making enough money for it to be worthy. Like if you have 100,000 subs, you should be able to get monetized. Now, the fact that anyone, even like me, when I have 2,000 subscribers, I can get monetized, it's just like they're saying, like, okay, well, we have to give everyone money. I think
they're opening up the floodgates to anybody because they want money regardless.
Upload a video every day, and I upload a video every day, and I do that not because of money. I just like uploading videos, but a lot of people do upload 2 or 3 videos every day just trying to make that money, and that's because of that system. That was the system YouTube came up with. That's what created Leafy. Leafy made videos every day, all the fucking time, because
content is fucking garbage, and they regret doing that because they want him off of here.
Yeah, that was basically where they thought that, no, we need to do more, and I don't know why they didn't focus on the quality of content. They just thought more content.
I hate to be the prude about it, you know, like all the hippie and shit, but it's like I think the money thing and the advertising did ruin a lot of good qualities YouTube had.
Oh yeah, when Google came in, the only good thing they brought to it was the broader appeal for small channels and the money. But outside of that, I think the quality on YouTube dropped considerably every year since Google's had it.
Yeah, because it used to be like a bunch of random shit on YouTube that you can always like you just follow a bunch of different links and just watch a bunch of crazy videos.
You find the most crazy random shit on there for hours.
It was fun, but now it's just like, oh, I'm gonna go. What? It's a routine now. I go on and look, check out my subscriptions, and I'm done. Boring.
Yeah, it is. The spontaneity is kind of gone of YouTube. You don't find stuff as much as you used to. You kind of like, oh yeah, it's iDubbbz. Of course, content cops. Like it's rare. We have to cling on to those moments when something new happens on YouTube.
Yeah.
We're like, oh damn it, yes. All right, let's get back to that article though. Very good discussion on that though. We need if we're gonna get through this damn thing.
Thanks for your criticism.
I said it was good. Google had long set existing control guards against marketers spot as appearing alongside controversial content. The speed with which Google announced the additional measures following an apology on Friday suggests the tools were already at its disposal. Google said Tuesday the changes would roll out gradually. Yet enforcing the new policies could be tricky. Google must screen a sea of content that every day adds thousands of websites and nearly 600,000 hours of new YouTube footage. And while some controversial content, such as pornography or neo-Nazi sites, clearly violates its standards for advertising, other cases are nuanced and require human review. Wait, Wall Street Journal's talking about nuance and human review? The people who wrote the PewDiePie piece?
Wow.
Okay, and then defended that piece over and over again. The reason Google has been reluctant on how to address this is because they can't fully address it, said Dave Rodnitsky, head of an ad agency at 3Q Digital. They can build algorithms to find a hate group or article a brand doesn't want to be associated with, but at the end of the day, the internet is a vast, sprawling, ever-changing ecosystem that is impossible to ever solve with an algorithm. Also, there's a point to be made. Most of my videos, right, like, it's me talking about an article, and I take video, and I do wonder if they're worried about that too, because for years, like, yeah, the gameplay videos, even though I think companies have no ownership of gameplay. I think that's bullshit if any video game company thinks they own the fucking gameplay. I think that's insane. But the funny thing is, I think about that because most of my videos, it's like, besides the stuff I do, now I think when you take that stuff like an article or like I'm reading from this article stuff, I still think if you add your personality and the editing and all that stuff, you make it different.
Well, it's under fair use. That's transformation.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I think the idea is they want people like, people are mad. Like, think about Wall Street Journal. The most they've been talked about on YouTube the last few months has just been negative, and all the articles have been taken negative, and they're like, we don't want our articles in these videos. So content creators shouldn't be able to use our articles in these videos, and I think that's going to be a lot of it too. Like, if you're critical of other kind of content and take from other kind of content, they'll be like, oh, you can't do...
Maybe, but I think the bigger problem is YouTube trying to define what hate speech is and what is controversial. Two things that mean different to every fucking body.
Okay, the British unit of Volkswagen AG's Audi. Oh my god, Audi, they're the ones that did the wage gap commercial and everybody made fun of it. And it's funny because I did a video on that commercial and an ad for that commercial showed up on my video. And I was like, huh, that's really interesting. So
irony.
I kind of helped out on direct. Well, you know, I think that's fair. Like, if I criticize them, then I'll make that deal with them. Everyone who watches my video has to watch an Audi advertisement. I'll take that handshake deal any day of the week. Like, it's like, hey, if this gets 10,000 hits, you get 10,000 people watching your Audi thing. Which had pulled its YouTube's ad, said it welcomed Google's switch action to address concerns, but it was awaiting clarity. Once we have committed time frame from Google clarifying when these safeguards will be implemented across the board, we will have a closer discussion with the brand and fully access our position in the UK, the automaker said. See, and that's funny because I remember specifically Audi, everyone made fun of that Super Bowl commercial, and then that's when they started pulling their commercials off YouTube. See, and I don't like that at all because somebody criticized an ad you made with false information. You don't want to be on, like, that's basically, and it's like, oh, well, hate speech.
That's
it's like, wait,
textbook
what was
fascism.
It's really corporate capitalism, but unfortunately, I don't think corporate capitalism has a place on the internet because the internet has too much of a monopoly on things. Like Google has a monopoly, YouTube has a monopoly, Facebook has a monopoly. You can't go to other platforms. Like, I can't just go somewhere else and get the hits I can get on YouTube, and that's the main issue. Like, if there was other alternatives, it'd be like, all right, well, fuck YouTube, they can do what they want. But they're, like, taking over, and then they're making rules after they take over everything. It's like, what are you, a government? What is it? Like, we have to live in YouTube?
A fascist government.
Spending effective so far is relatively small and touched a subset of Google's business serving ads on third-party websites, brought in revenue of $15.6 billion last year, 17.3 of Alphabet's overall revenue. Alphabet doesn't disclose YouTube's revenue. But the issue prompted Pivotal Research Group analyst Brian Weiser on Monday to downgrade Alphabet stock to hold from buy. He said Tuesday that the announced measures were too late. Brand safety has become one of the most important issues in the mind of a typical large marketer, he said. So he predicted ad spending on Google to fall slightly as a result of the controversy. See, that's the problem. Once they start to take the money away from YouTube, that's where YouTube's going to be like, all right, we got to do some shit now because they care about the money. You got to follow the money. And the ad people are saying, hey, we don't want to put our ads on this kind of stuff. And I definitely don't like that. I can understand why they wouldn't want their ads on a video with, like, Nazi jokes and stuff.
Right.
But I do...
Not even just jokes. Like, I get that they don't want, like... They don't want, like, oh, okay, well, this video is about a story of someone getting raped. Okay, that's kind of horrific. We don't want to have an ad for L'Oreal on there. So let's not do that. I get that. I understand that. But jokes, humor, okay, Comedy Central had some pretty fucked up jokes back in the day.
Chappelle Show.
They weren't scared back then.
Well, you know, hold up there. Like on ID channel and stuff, like they show homicides, murderers, killers, and stuff like that all the time, and yet
that's
they show
all desensitized. Though. That's all like, oh,
and YouTube isn't.
We don't show it. We don't.
Well, YouTube will go into the harsher, like they'll even speak harsher. Like they'll talk about the murders in pretty harsh ways on YouTube that they don't do on like the news. Like, they tell you how the person was murdered. But, yeah, like I said, though, people... There's content on TV all the time, like, that's about murder and rape and crime, like, CIS and shit, and there's ads on that. And it's like, that's no worse than anything anyone does on YouTube, really, for the most part. I mean, if they should take ads off anyone, it should be someone like Joey fucking Salads or someone. The people who do, like, fucked up shit to make money and are, like,
that
unethical.
That would require them being specific. YouTube can't do that.
Like Joey Salads, I think that's an unethical way to make money, what he does.
He's a lie. He's the definition of fake news. He's doing fake bullshit that's not real. He's admitted to some of it not being real, and we can all admit it's mostly all it's all fake. Well, he admitted that some of them were fake, yet they're all pretty much fucking fake.
Well, I think he started off real. It was kind of like what Keemstar said years ago, like the prank channels were all real, and then once the people came in that started doing the fake pranks with better cameras and shit, then all the prank channels had to start being fake because there was no way to get... Because to do an actual prank, you'd have to do a hidden camera, you'd have to go out of your way to hide what you're doing, but all these guys, they go out and they film like a fucking professional looking video and it's a prank, and it's like, wait a minute. That's what made me skeptical of those immediately when I saw them on the internet, because I'm, all of us have worked with cameras and stuff, and film stuff. So we're like, wait, you got a different angle. How the fuck did you get a different angle?
How did someone not see that camera?
Yeah, and you're like,
just chilling out there.
How did you have a tripod setting there? Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you start to... it's like reality shows. It's like, wait, how did they cut to that other angle when you guys were having a fight over there? And then you're like, oh, wait a minute. They manipulated it. Okay, this is the part that gets really scary. While current policy focuses on content that advocates violence towards such groups... Now, I can understand that, like, if someone's trying to push violence on a video, okay. The new one applies
to... That's also illegal, too.
Yeah, exactly. Right. You shouldn't do that. The new one applies to anything that is incendiary or demeaning to them. That change likely will be controversial to some website owners and video creators that rely on Google for ad revenue, and its broad scope will include a wide variety of content. So, incendiary or demeaning to them. So, if you are demeaning at all or make fun of people, like, let's say we do with Muslims and Islam, just as jokes, where it would be considered demeaning.
Or even like we legitimately criticize Islam.
Yeah.
Is that demeaning? I mean, we're bringing up logic and facts and statistics.
The left doesn't like facts.
Feminism. Demeaning feminism, which, we all do in videos.
What is demeaning? What does that even mean? What demeaning, is it just like belittling, or is it like criticizing?
That's my issue. Like, once again, you say how vague Google is. I'm like, demeaning could legit mean whatever the person who says it means. And
that's probably why they said demeaning.
And I know YouTube... Yeah, here's demeaning under the dictionary: causing someone to lose their dignity and respect for others.
But see, that. What if it's like just though? What if it's just to quote unquote demean them? Like, what if they're a legitimate asshole like Joey Salads? Well, what Ethan Klein did, making fun of him and saying his content's fake and proving that it was fucking fake.
It's demeaning.
That's demeaning, even though it's just and completely ethical for him to do that because he's legitimately fucking fake, right? That's demeaning, though. The fuck does that mean, Google? It doesn't fucking make any sense.
And here's the thing that they say here. Oh, keep going, sorry.
I think it means you're taking a big dick up your ass.
Well, this part here, before that, the plan changes at Google include expanding a policy that prohibits ads from running alongside content, and here's the things they say, that attacks or harasses people based on race, religion, gender, or similar categories. Those are all very specific things, like race, religion,
all the fun things.
Like, they're like, okay, to me that would include feminism, that would include Black Lives Matter, that would include all those things. Now, do I wonder, does that mean if Black Lives Matter makes videos, are their videos going to get taken down or not have ads?
Of theirs?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Are those videos going to not have ad revenue? Because I got to tell you, if they set up a system where they start taking off monetization from videos that are like skeptic and then they don't on those other videos, that's going to cause a shitstorm overnight. That'll mean...
I think Google's smart enough not to do that. I think they are, quote unquote. I think.
Yeah, because that would be nuts.
I think part of me really wants to think YouTube is legitimate, just wanting to stop more violent content. That I don't. Does that even exist?
Yeah, I don't think it exists. I've never seen these neo-Nazi videos
for very long. Like people getting up there and praising Hitler or praising, and saying he, being serious, not just being a joke, not being ironic, right? Does that really exist? I'm sure it does, but it can't exist for very long. That goes against their current policy.
Well, it's very telling because this is on Wall Street Journal, and they're the ones that wrote that hit piece that directly got PewDiePie fired from these places, and it makes me think, they're writing this and framing it, it makes me scared. It's like, I don't think it's a conspiracy theory like the media and all of them are on the left and teaming up, but it does feel like they don't like that content was popular, and I don't mean just that kind of controversial content, I mean like anything, like iDubbbz is huge, right? And it's like They don't want to work with him, they don't, like YouTube doesn't want iDubbbz to be the face of you, they didn't even have him in the retrospect video or anything, or like the trending tab.
They didn't have H3, they didn't have iDubbbz, these people that brought in tens of millions of views. Hell, fucking H3 is getting sued over YouTube, right? And they can't even put him in a fucking YouTube rewind. Like, no. I understand why I watched YouTube.
And he's like the most held back of any of like the more controversial YouTubers.
He's definitely the best spoken out of them, if like not being that offensive.
I mean, I get like iDubbbz and Filthy Frank to a degree.
Yeah, but Ethan, really?
Filthy Frank eats fucking human cake and eats like puke cake. That I get that. That's disgusting. Yeah, right? I like it. I think it's fun to watch, but I get why they don't want that. I understand that. Yeah. iDubbbz, I mean, he says nigger a bunch. He says all kinds of racial, homophobic, or quote unquote homophobic things that are jokes, right? I get that though, right? Because they're controversial to a larger audience, right? H3, they make fun of vaping. Like, that's a joke on the internet, is making fun of vapors, right? It's not like they are seriously demeaning people who.
You know what makes it scary? If they
it's a fucking joke.
If they unmonetize a bunch of Ethan's videos and he doesn't get that ad rev money, and then he has that court trial and shit.
Oh, dude, that's
YouTube just gives him the finger, like, right before he goes in. They're like, "You're never gonna make money on this site again."
But what else would you expect from YouTube, really, in a bad situation?
No, I mean, I don't think that's gonna happen. That would just be really fucked up. Like, it's just this final defeat. It's like Order 66 from Revenge of the Sith. They just take out all of the YouTubers at once in like this big shutdown. Like, they unmonetize everyone. And
my gosh, it could totally happen.
No, it literally could. Like, you could get on and see channels deleted that you're fans of. They could like get those. Like,
I see your fear now.
Atheism Unstoppable had that happen to him. I don't think Naked Ape.
I think AIU kind of had it coming though. He did some pretty shitty things.
I don't think Naked Ape should be getting those claims though.
I don't think Ape should either, but I think AIU is not. I'm not going to defend him.
No, I won't either. But I liked his videos. Like, occasionally, I liked his Young Turks videos and stuff. I think he should be able to upload some videos. Or some kind of videos.
I'm not saying he should be out of YouTube entirely, but he was supporting doxing. He was sitting there.
Oh, he was poking the bear.
He was doing some very, I don't want to say it's violent, but it could lead to violence, right?
He was inciting stuff in his videos. Not even jokingly.
YouTube was completely just with AIU.
Like, he would say, go to this guy's thing and, like, harass them on his videos and stuff. Like, that was part of his whole...
Stuff like that is, like, that's a very big problem, because remember, this is a topic here, but there's a YouTuber, his name is Ross Scott. He does gaming stuff. He wanted his subscribers and his fans to go to Mail EA and all this stuff, because EA was going to cut off a game, its online access to it, right? And he did that in a way. He was even providing, like, their corporate addresses and, okay, what's stopping them from going and finding their home addresses, right? And bothering them there, inciting violence, right? Even if he didn't mean or say anything, right? He opened himself up to a giant bit of liability over a game that was not that well played, right?
Yeah. Well,
it was dangerous. It's just a concept of bringing all his subscribers together to do this one thing, violent or not. Is dangerous. And
YouTube, it's like a cold following.
I agree with YouTube that making them nervous.
No, I agree. I understand what you mean.
It's on them if something happens.
Well, my problem is, though, like, I also think in that same way, you should, like, they should look at those videos by, like, MTV News where they talk to white people. Because, you know, that's not even satire or a joke. Like, there's joking. And not even that, but there's videos that are more extreme than that one. Like, there's legitimately BuzzFeed videos I think are legitimately racist videos. Like, they're just racist or sexist, and they're not even joking.
YouTube goes after those, too. I kind of hope that that's part of what they're talking about, because those are legitimately racist.
They are. There's, like, legitimately racist videos from those kinds of places like BuzzFeed or MTV News.
We'll have to wait and see if they actually do it, though.
That's my fear. Well, here's this part. Here's another scary paragraph. Google also said it would place ads only on the YouTube videos of legitimate creators and pull ads from the videos of those that impersonate other channels or violate our community guidelines. Google's also reviewing its policies to determine whether more YouTube videos should be removed, which I don't even know what that means.
What does that even mean?
Yeah, more should be removed, like they're just going to take videos off. This part, too, Google said it's changing the default settings for ads to limit them to more mainstream sites and videos, requiring brands to opt into advertising on broader... So they're saying that the default ad's going to go to more mainstream sites and videos. That means no big... none of the smaller channels. And they said sometimes edgier content, such as videos peddling extremist views or misinformation. They're basically saying fake news in that part where they say misinformation. That's like when Amy Schumer, the best thing in the world is when her Netflix special bombed, and then she blamed it on the alt-right, on 4chan, and she got all of our info from an article that just took like 4chan threads and claimed that everyone who didn't like her special... And all the reviews are bad for the special. The special sucks. Like, it's like one of the worst things ever. It's garbage. And she went on to have this whole conspiracy theory about being all the right. And then all the people made videos on it just talking, just fucking dumb it. And she almost said, like, it's fake news. It's fake news. And it's like, wait, so you guys are in this mode now where you're becoming Trump, basically. You're buying into this thing now where, like, you want to call criticism of yourselves fake news. Like, or channel that's like, they're like, well, this channel's giving misinformation. So what, is a guy's opinion on something misinformation? Is that what you're saying? Because a lot of things are misinformation. Like, I don't think YouTube's a place for a lot of information when it comes to the creator.
No, it shouldn't be.
I don't watch, like, Netflix all the time to get informed.
Yeah, but honestly, I mean, I know everyone says that every time YouTube makes a change and stuff, but we're watching the slow decline. Like, this is like a bleeding pig in the desert, and we're just watching it die.
I think it's a slow death. I think YouTube's had a slow death, over this.
They're just making bad decision after bad decision.
It doesn't mean they can't bounce back, but I do think, in the long run, I think this is a dumb business decision. I think they could do something else and fix this problem while not doing what they're doing. I don't think they need to just change the whole algorithm. It's like, well, you could view each video on a video. Like, if you actually had people go view those videos and look at them, you would see they're not that bad, but they don't ever go look at them. And because we know the Wall Street Journal, like, they didn't go watch PewDiePie's videos. They just went and Googled stuff and tried to find controversial stuff. It's like, well, if you're not going to do the research, then why should I give a fuck? Like, yeah, the whole thing is about research. And
yeah.
Okay, so let's hurry up real quick and move to the Polygon article.
Right.
We're gonna move on to the Polygon article real quick. Polygon's an awful website. I fucking hate them so much. They just talk mad shit about pretty much anything that's not them.
Yeah, Polygon was like back in the Gamergate days. That was when their decline, or they always have been a shitty website, but Polygon was a big player back then.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what's the biggest one that declined? Game Trailers. Remember Game Trailers was like the #1 game site for form and videos and reviews, and then now it actually shut down. And they had some of the best formatting too. And then they sold out to like Mountain Dew and chips. And then it was like, no, gaming journalists are cancer.
You remember IGN?
Yeah. No, remember? Okay, so here's the headline. Gaming's racist and sexist personalities aren't a new threat to children. They're not a new threat to children. They've been around a long time. Well,
at least they're not a new threat, I guess.
At least they're not new, yeah.
Technology changes the fears, but not the strategies.
That's like the title. With the title like that, though, you kind of have to just really take a step back and read that again before you publish that.
No, that's like a really funny tagline to me, like, technology changes the fear, but not the strategies. Snowden. Coming this fall from Oliver Stone. Do you watch PewDiePie? I didn't used to, but I do now. I asked my oldest son. He shook his head. This is like that New York Times article with the mom talking to her daughter about race. And she's like, oh, I get to explain to you about racism. I'm so happy. Oh.
I shouldn't be a parent.
Yeah, no. I can't wait to tell my kid they're transgender.
I'm a reason there should be mandatory abortion. Ooh.
Do you watch PewDiePie? I asked my oldest son. He shook his head no. But then he asked why I would ever bring it up. Because he doesn't understand why jokes about genocide aren't funny, I explained.
Oh my god. We're talking about this motherfucker telling this kid what is funny or not.
Let me do the job for him. Billy, you're retarded.
It'd be great if that kid looked up and was like, fuck you, Dad. That's stupid.
Why don't you go to heaven, Dad?
Well, I that's such a... Like, whenever you read a sentence by anyone like that who, like, criticizes comedy and they write something like that, like, jokes about genocide aren't funny, you immediately know that person doesn't have a sense of humor within seconds. You read that and you're like, oh, you don't have a sense of humor, you just think you do. And that's really all it is. It's somebody, you meet these people in real life, you'll say a fucked up joke and they'll look at you like, that's not funny. And it's like, it could not be funny, but you being offended's funny. That's bringing me joy.
Very much.
No, like, just reading that sentence, it's like, god damn it, because he doesn't understand why jokes about... It's like, I need to sit down with you and explain why jokes about genocide can be funny.
Right.
My son goes to a German language school, and this wasn't the first time this particular topic has come up. That's very odd.
Oh, okay, now he's just being racist against Germans.
Wait, I love his son goes to a German language school and they're talking about...
Of course he does. Maybe
that's like some hipster bullshit. Like, my son goes to... I only feed him organic food that was grown 50 miles away. That's kind of what that sounds like.
Your kid doesn't speak German, faggot?
Whole Foods. German's a dead language, retard.
Is this guy Amish?
This part here is very telling. I don't think PewDiePie is an anti-Semite as much as I think he's a rich white guy who doesn't understand that anti-Semitic humor isn't the best way to make a point.
Okay, let me ask you this, Pat. is this guy Jewish? This guy who's in the article, is he Jewish?
Let me go look at his name. His name is Ben
Because if this guy
Cucharera.
the only way that I would let him talk about this remotely is if he was Jewish. Is if not, he's appropriating someone else's outrage. And that's what SJW
Cultural appropriation, man.
He's also being a little racist too when he just focuses on white.
Well, it's
rich
like,
white
why
guy.
is he the voice of the Jewish people that were actually affected by the Holocaust, or the homosexuals, or the people that were mentally or physically disabled, right?
Yeah. Why is he an arbiter for that?
This guy is just some guy who was appropriating, as they love to use, appropriating someone else's outrage or someone else's.
Well, I don't agree with cultural appropriation, but I agree with you when you take a serious issue and appropriate it. That's bullshit.
Yeah, you don't have the right to sit there and be like, you shouldn't tell anti-Semite jokes. It's like, are you
scumbag.
Oh, you're just a white guy? That's not cool.
Scumbag. He is a video game critic.
Oh, well.
Yeah, to be fair.
I believe he's overly qualified, to be honest.
He has all the qualification it needs to. I mean, he didn't finish high school.
I'm sure he's a really funny guy, scumbag. I'm sure he's really funny to hang out with and is really cool.
I'm sure he's really good at parties.
I mean, I'm sure he's the guy that makes everyone laugh in the room. I'm certain he's the funniest guy. I'm sure he's as funny as Cenk Uygur or anyone.
Amy Schumer.
Yeah, I'm sure he's just as funny as Amy Schumer is. Or no, watching her stand-up special is like going to a bar and watching an amateur come out and bombing. It's very awkward.
That might be funny to watch.
It is for about 5 minutes, and then
the joke gets old. Like,
yeah,
all right,
well, yeah,
cringy.
Well, when she starts talking about like coming and all that stuff, you're like, yeah, I'm tuning out. Okay, here's another one.
Oh, how daring!
PewDiePie
all her jokes are about her vagina.
My vagina.
No, it's funny. South Park made
guess what? My vagina, it stinks.
South Park made fun of that, and then legitimately her Netflix special, every joke is a vagina joke, and it was right after South Park did that. And I'm like, did you not get the criticism, Amy? Like, did you watch?
Wow. Apparently not.
I love this part too. PewDiePie is thoughtless, says a thoughtless asshole, the guy writing this article, and his wealth and built-in following insulates him from having to look at any of his beliefs very hard.
Insulates.
Yeah, I wonder if this liberal cuck ever looks outside of their bubble at Polygon.
Does this guy just like using big words that makes him sound smart?
No, a lot of writers will do that on web. Like they'll put in insulates.
Oh,
they'll put in random words like that. Where it's like, that's not too big of a word, but the way you put it in there seemed kind of oddly random.
It's like
just unnecessary.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
smart.
That's the thing. They'll just use they'll be like the analogous that I'm trying to find here, and it's like, why'd you throw that in there? You could have just.
You know what? Why do you gotta throw that kind of word in there? Why can't you just go fuck yourself? Seriously.
Well, no, I notice people try to do that on YouTube too. You can always tell when someone's not that smart and has a big vocabulary because they force big words that don't fit naturally in with the sentence that they're telling. Like a really smart person can be deceptively smart. Like you hear them talking like, "Oh, that person's smarter than I thought they were," because they're not like showing off. Like it's not a Good Will Hunting thing. And but then these other people, they'll do a video, and then in the video, every other word's like some literary, and it's like, wait a minute, motherfucker.
It's like he went to thesaurus. Everyone is writing, okay, I use that word, I better change it to this.
Hey, you know why nobody else uses those words? Because they're a waste of time. But there's smaller ones you can use.
Like, there's no reason. Like if you look at like Michael or Vsauce, like he doesn't use giant big words. He's a science channel, an education channel, right?
Even Thunderfoot doesn't like go out of his way to use big words or anything.
Yeah,
like
he just talks about science and shit, right? And
yeah, to the point.
Assholes who review video games, right? Like I have to use like cognitive dissonance and
stuff that Neil deGrasse Tyson doesn't even fucking say that much. Like, or they're on there like cognitive dissonance.
He's the biggest phony of them all.
He has to use a word that hasn't been used in 100 years.
Confirmation bias, and they always bring up these things that they didn't know about until they read about it on the internet a little while ago, and they're like, "Yeah, man, I know. He's doing a false equivalency." Okay, PewDiePie is thoughtless and his wealth. This is the best part after that. I wouldn't be upset if my children were fans of his, but I would try to explain why shock humor is lazy and more likely to get you in trouble than get you a laugh. Once again, I'm sure this person's very funny.
This is like Principal Skinner pondering if maybe he is out of touch or it's the youth. Then
Bart.
His fault.
Also, I don't agree what PewDiePie did was entirely shock humor. I actually think it was kind of a meta
A lot of what PewDiePie does is not shock. It's pretty basic comedy.
Yeah, I don't think it's
cleverly done.
shocking to see not like have you never been on the like I look at memes that are 10 times more intense than anything PewDiePie has ever done in the history of his videos, and yeah, I rarely. When was the last time you actually saw a shocking comedian or something? Are you? I mean,
Schumer.
iDubbbz you could say is shocking sometimes. Like he goes there. Like you don't expect him to go up and say nigger, you know.
Yeah.
But that's
but he goes the distance.
but that's not what PewDiePie does at all. But JonTron Jafari and Colin Moriarty bother me, even if they don't really change how I think about parenting.
They bother me because I'm not very funny. I don't get comedy. So I write for Polygon. So of course I don't. But I have to make sure that I explain to my kids that if they like this humor, well they're grounded. Basically.
Don't bother me too much. I'm just waiting for my at-home transgender transformation kit.
Hey, we got the Trump drop in here, guys.
No, they don't even transition, dude. They just put on girl clothes, put on makeup, and hey,
Yeah, that's just called being lazy.
He dropped in the Trump thing here. He seems to see the controversy over his maintenance of the sexist status quo in gaming mostly as a career oh wait, I skipped. On JonTron. JonTron has hateful beliefs and now are simply part of the daily discourse in the age of Trump's own white supremacy. I was waiting for that one. Once again, Polygon people.
We have to call Trump a Nazi. It's required by Polygon law.
Colin Moriarty got in trouble after joking that women striking for a day would lead to peace and quiet. That comment was on was in my video on my Women's Day. It was like
that's kind of lazy actually. It's not
yeah.
that,
I didn't make the joke in the video, but everyone in the comments is like, oh, finally a day with peace and quiet. That humor is that most days he's forced... This guy's explaining the joke. That humor is that most days he's forced to tolerate hearing women speak, and it'll be nice that he doesn't have to. He seems to see the controversy over his maintenance of the sexist status quo in gaming mostly as a career opportunity.
What an asshole.
No, you are...
I have to ask you guys.
What?
Are you for mandatory abortion yet?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I think for sure. Like, there's certain people we should just get rid. Like, oh, this kid's. It should be like 300. Like, this kid got Down syndrome. Yeah, throw him over the cliff.
It's like, okay, this guy wrote about he's a Polygon writer. Well, he should be sterilized. That's as simple as that.
I thought that's why guns were invented.
Yeah, can't we just shoot? Oh shit! This video is gonna get taken out.
Oh,
Scumbag!
Hey, Shark, get the fuck out of here, Shark.
Yeah, you're inciting violence.
Nigger.
Damn it!
Nigger.
Do you want us to not make any money?
Video.
You can say nigger. It's Jew jokes. You can't say kike. Shit.
You beat me to it. I was about to say it.
I should have just said the K word. Oh my god.
You fucking retard faggot! Damn it!
We're trying too hard.
Yeah, we're trying to be shock humor. We're lazy. We wouldn't impress this. We wouldn't impress this guy and his kid.
iDubbbz or Filthy Frank.
We'll never be as clever as this Polygon writer. He's really funny.
Obviously gets it inside and out.
No, he's told so many funny jokes in this article that I've been reading. It's like, yeah, dude, you clearly understand comedy. I mean, that's why you work for Polygon.
As with any of these articles, I always hope that they're satire, because it's the most brilliant satire I've ever heard.
This is really weird. To me, it's personal freedom, responsibility, the right to exceed, and the right to fail, and the right to express yourself freely without having to worry about being called a bigot or being called a sexist. And I was making a silly joke Moriarty told Glenn Beck in a recent interview. And I'm glad you brought that up specifically because there are so many people that play video games. There are so many that enjoy entertainment that don't have anyone speaking for them. I would quibble with the idea that no one is standing up for sexist humor in games. Yeah, Nita Sarkeesian's doing a real good job attacking Breath of the Wild.
Who doesn't enjoy entertainment?
But let's have that aside for a bit.
Oh, there are people who watch paint dry who get entertainment out of that.
But they're entertained. That's
people who wear suspenders, stuff like that.
But suspenders are cool. Fuck you. But no, like people watching paint dry, that's still entertainment to them, so they enjoy entertainment. That whole statement's bullshit.
Oh, you're okay. I get what you're saying now.
Hey, they did that thing in the article where they go to make a point and then they write that part in caps. Like they say, and our collective children are out listening, but I gotta be honest, I'm not worried about that.
When it gets to caps, you have to yell out.
Then the caps come out. This doesn't change anything! The current political climate seems to embolden people who used to feel uncomfortable being outwardly racist and sexist to openly impose those beliefs. But I don't think gaming personalities on the whole doing much to harm our children, nor should they change the way most people parent. If you're already paying attention to what your children are watching, and by that I mean YouTube and Netflix, as well as standard television and what games they play, you're ahead of the curve. Be sure to watch a few episodes if your kid is into this or that YouTube personality online, and try to keep an eye on their subscriptions, and maybe do a Google search for the names of these people every now and again. But that's all you really have to do. Gaming has often had issues addressing racism and sexism, and it has always been...
Okay, what the fuck was the point of the article then?
No, I don't know.
The whole point of it is like, hey, just be careful what your kids are watching.
Virtue signaling.
Like you already fucking should be doing. Like you should be careful what your kids are watching. Right?
Maybe you're just
you enough. What's the point of the fucking article? What does racism have to do with this shit?
Scumbag, maybe you're just too fucking stupid to understand the article.
Yeah.
It's too nuanced for you, goddamn
Too
retard.
fucking nuanced. It's so nuanced that it's...
Scumbag, I think you're a scumbag.
People bitch about how long our podcast is. This article could be summed up in that last fucking paragraph.
You're out of your element.
Scumbag, I think you are thoughtless and lazy with your views on this.
And you're out of your element.
Very thoughtless and very lazy.
And out of your
Those aren't
element.
big enough words, dude. You have to be
Yeah.
more bombastic. Oh, that's a big word. More in your face.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to read the rest of this article because it's getting annoying. I really don't like this because, like Scumbag said, he basically just makes no point. He just wanted to virtue signal for a few paragraphs about YouTubers and bitch about JonTron and stuff because
why not?
Clearly, they seem jealous that JonTron's probably making a lot more money than they ever made writing for Polygon. Just guessing. Well, it's a joke that Your Movie Sucks made on Twitter, and he made the best jokes. Like, imagine if you spent 30 grand on a journalist degree and someone on YouTube made more money than you and has more outreach, and they didn't do any of that. And don't think the writers aren't pissed about that, because they fucking are. Do not think the Wall Street Journal and these people are not mad that, you know, JonTron's got like 3 million subscribers and can influence people's opinions, and they can't. Like at all.
That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, like CNN's mad that they can't. Rachel Maddow's mad she can't influence people. CNN's mad they can't influence people.
Pettiness.
I love this. YouTube isn't getting more or less racist or sexist. We're just beginning to see the response to an environment where being racist or sexist seems like a good career move for some people.
What the fuck does that even mean?
I don't know. You know what would be a good career for me being racist or sexist? Yeah!
I don't think that there is a person besides this writer here that understood a word of that just now.
I did.
I think that is inside talk for just him. Like, he is just the only one guy beating his meat there.
Hey, he beat that meat hard, bro.
No one else is beating
and also, he's really funny and he's really smart. And he puts a lot of
comedy. He is a comedian. His
I'd fuck him.
card says so.
All right, do you guys want to get to the script of the week?
Sure.
Okay, this is a big one. I think this is going to be the best one yet. By the way, very good conversation.
Drum roll, please.
Very good conversation on the topics, though. I want to hear your guys' opinion in the video on this. What do you guys think about the YouTube stuff going on? You don't really have to talk about the Polygon article because that's clearly retard. But we kind of started retard, and then we went...
Anybody else understands that little please let me know, because I'm too stupid to understand. Please,
yes, you
anybody
are.
else could.
We went full retard on that
there's
specific article.
And if there's anybody out there that does understand it so we can have an intellectual conversation, please let me know.
Yeah, he wants to have a meeting of the intellectual beings known as
that includes Scumbag.
Yes, we need a level of the drunken peasant's intellect to break down this article, this Da Vinci Code that we must solve. We must need the great philosopher Paul.
We have to shove a banana up his ass so he can understand it more.
Well, TJ can come and explain economics to us and all the politics and stuff.
He's fearless.
Yeah, he knows everything about that stuff.
After that, we can have Paul Joseph Watson come on and just explain mental health.
Yeah.
Smart.
Hey, to be fair, I would love to have Paul Joseph Watson on this fucking podcast.
It would just be me laughing every other fucking word he says.
Having him on here would be hilarious. If we got Alex Jones on here, I'd lose my shit. I'd just let him talk.
Well, he'd lose your shit for him.
Yeah, I know. He'd shit for all of us. We'd all no, he'd be here like, you guys are right, YouTube is part of the global pedophilia conspiracy theories
done by the globalist Illuminati reptilians.
Dad!
And Sharkfoot would be there and he'd
fucking take it.
And Sharkfoot would be there like, yes.
Not the black kids.
That's like hanging out with Sharkfoot. You have a beer with Sharkfoot, he's just there like, fucking globalists trying to rape our kids. God damn it, Obama.
Looks over to Pizza Hut. I bet you there's kids being raped in there right fucking now.
Yeah.
Love how I don't even defend myself.
No, you know it's true. Yeah. It's just a fact of life.
You don't eat
All right.
pizza anymore because you know kids got raped over that pizza. You don't take that anymore. You can't
Let's
support
get,
pizza.
let's get to the script.
I really liked this pizza before it started tasting like child rape.
God damn it.
Then it kind of lost its flavor.
Are you sure this is sour cream? This sounds more like semen. It tastes more like semen. I wouldn't know what semen tastes like. This is not sour cream.
Jesus Christ, I said anchovies, not child rape. Calm
This
down.
is cum.
I asked for Canadian bacon, not Canadian little boy dick. Come on.
I do love Sharkfoot. She's like, this is cum. It's just very direct about it. Like, hey dude, this is cum. You know this is cum, right? Like, did you jizz on my pizza, bro? Like, it's cool
Dude,
if you
cum.
did. Just tell
This
me.
isn't, dude. That's not icing on your Cinestick. That's my cum. I
Yeah.
came on it while you were talking to her.
But
She paid me to do it.
the
Deborah hates you, bro.
the script this week is a pretty cliche one. A lot of people used to read from the book on this to make funny jokes, but I don't. We're reading from the script from the movie, which is a little different.
We're catching up. We're doing catch up.
Yeah, we're doing everything late. This is Scumbag and Sharkfoot, maybe with a reading by me and for one of the lines or something, reading 50 Shades of Grey. And this is a scene where Dorian Gray and I can't remember the girl's name, Amanda Steele.
It's let's call
Bad
her
Steel.
Steel Vag is a assume we would call it.
Oh yeah, Steel Vag. So Christian Grey and Vag Steel. This is a scene where they have a contract. They meet for a contract about basically the premise is he is a dominant and she's a submissive, and he wants to have a consent contract, which is absolutely hilarious. And he makes her sign these things so they agree upon, so he can dominate her in the bedroom. Also,
So what you're saying is this would be approved by Steve Shives, right? This
yes.
is approval, correct?
Also, the character who is 27 or something like that, she is a virgin and has never had sex, and they have.
The actor who plays her is beyond gorgeous.
So he has her sign this contract before they can have sex. And she says at one point, which we're not going to read here because it's not in the script, but she says before the contract, she goes, after we do this, can we make love? And he goes, no, we're going to fuck. I fuck hard. And then we come into this great piece of writing that is at the Godfather
How did
level.
this not win an Oscar? Come on.
So we're going to switch things up a bit. We usually have Sharkfoot play the boy and Scumbag play the girl, but I finally found out this week Scumbag has a penis. So, whoops.
Lol.
So he will be reading the part of Christian Grey, and Sharkfoot will be reading the part of Steel. So we will jump right in. Okay, we are setting up. It's actually a pretty dialogue-driven scene. There's not a lot of information to come across. So basically, just picture
no narration from Pat here.
Picture the two of them sitting in a table across from each other, signing a contract with each other, and start whenever you are ready.
Miss Steele, your meeting? Page 1. Strike out my old address and replace it with a new one. An oversight. Do go on. Page 3, section 15 to 20. The submissive shall submit to any sexual activity demanded by the dominant without hesitation or argument. Turn to page 5, appendix 6, soft limits.
With you, find anal fisting.
I'm all ears.
Strike it out. Strike out vaginal fisting too.
Are you sure?
Strike out vaginal fisting. What? Fuck.
What?
Yeah.
What?
This bitch is
Hey,
fucking
bitch.
uptight. No, I love
Is-
that. I love how complicated his contract is too. He's like, turn to page 5, appendix 3, soft limits. It's like, damn, dude, how fucking long is this thing?
This would really please Steve Shives because he has to have like books upon books about consent because he is the master of consent, as you know.
Okay, so we left with strike out vaginal fisting too. Continue.
Yep. Is the use of sex toys acceptable to the submissive? Vibrators? Okay, dildos? Fine. Genital clamps? Absolutely not.
Consider them gone.
Genital
What?
clamps.
What are butt plugs? You must go through quite a few.
Non-disclosure agreements. My staff know only what I choose to tell them. Please assume, Mr. Steele. Also, page 5, there are some terms which need clarification.
Suspension? Hanging on a rope from the ceiling? For what possible reason?
For your pleasure.
Really?
And mind, something to consider.
No. Hard limit.
Is bondage acceptable to a submissive?
I'm good with rope. Leather cast, handcuffs. Please loose tape.
Can I just say how impressed I am with your commitment to this meeting? And in that spirit, I'm going to offer something sweeter. How about once a week, once a night of your choosing, we go on a date? It's like a regular couple. Dinner, movie, ice skating, whatever you want.
Accepted. You're very kind.
All suggested in Appendix 5. Would like to fuck you into the middle of next week.
I'll suggest it.
Being fair.
Oh my god, this shit is hard.
No, hold on, wait.
How do the actors read
No,
this shit?
that's just that part there. I'll suggest an Appendix 5, but then to follow up a line like Appendix 5 with, I would like to fuck you into the middle of next week. Like he's Goku threatening a person, like, I'm gonna punch you into next week, Vegeta. It's like this it's so direct. Like there's no subtlety to it all.
You're not fighting fair.
I never have. I'll review all these changes and try and arrive at a decision. You want to leave?
Yes.
But your body tells me something different. Your legs, for instance, the way you're pressing your thighs together under the table, that your change in breath and your complexion.
My complexion.
You're flushed.
That could be just the wine. You never know.
It's the adrenaline.
That could just be the ecstasy.
Could just be the
It could just be the drugs I took before I came in here.
Say I did stay, what would happen?
First, I would help you out of that little dress of yours.
Yes.
Hey, is it weird I'm getting a chub right now?
I can't fucking write this shit. It's so stupid.
Yes.
That I'd be pleased to discover that you are naked underneath.
Really? She's naked?
Did you
Really?
clothes? There are people's nude bodies. Did you understand that?
What would she
Whether
be
this guy
under there?
fucking 5 years old doesn't understand how clothes work.
She takes her clothes off, it's like a monster.
It's like
Boo!
instead of clothes, because she's like a nerd. She's a forever nude. She can't be nude. She has like a pair of like
Jorts.
a pink guy like a bodysuit on under it.
Alright, keep going.
It's your line.
Really? Wait,
And I would bend you over.
Right here?
Yes.
On this table?
No, on that table over there. What the fuck do you think? Yes.
Thank you for the meeting, Mr. Gray.
So I didn't know. So it's basically, I realized listening to this movie would have been so much better had she been a transgender. Now hearing him read those lines, I'm like, this would have been brilliant. I swear to God. Well, guys, if we end the show within the next 5-6 minutes, this will officially be the shortest episode of Patriarchal Bastards. Because our shortest episode currently is like 85 minutes, and right now we're at right under 80 minutes. So we did it. We did it.
Now I see Ma.
Now we need to deport Dora and her little monkey boots. And do you guys have any?
Out of here.
Do you guys have any final thoughts? Do you have anything to
I
add?
just have to say that gender is a social construct, and the movie should have been called 50 Shades of Gender because that's how it is.
YouTube's dying.
Yeah, YouTube may be dying. I may get all my videos unmonetized, but I'll still make this podcast for the fuck of it because it's fun. And eventually I'll start begging and ask you guys to just give us money because,
So when is your banana compilation coming out?
I'm working on it, my micro penis is only so ready for these types of things.
I recommend cucumbers too. It's part of Appendix 7 actually.
Yeah, TJ's a bit of a bitch. I'm going in bigger than a banana. I mean, he was just
You're going full zucchini, bro?
Yeah, I'm going full zucchini. Yeah, I want.
No one goes full zucchini.
No, I'm gonna upload it on Pornhub. I'm gonna get my 1,000,000 hits. I'm gonna cash in that check, and we're all going on vacation.
Are you going to smear your ball sack and penis with a vat of boiling water too, or are you gonna try something more exotic like?
Or are you trying to stretch out the conversation so?
What,
shortest time ever.
Your audio just cut out, faggot. So I didn't hear anything you just said. While your air conditioner thing came on, there's like a poltergeist in your house. What do you want me to do? You have like the thing in the basement that's in Home Alone that wants to kill Macaulay Culkin, even though everyone wants to kill Macaulay Culkin.
You live in the house of a very poorly made January horror movie. That's all I'm gonna say.
It was made in the 70s. It's a trailer. Fuck you guys.
Do you get a cell phone reception at that house? Are you in a horror movie?
I'm on the internet
right
now.
In your basement that you don't remember buying.
Of course. Who doesn't? In the basement, I don't have. Because it's a fucking trailer, and you don't listen to me.
He's already forgotten about the basement he has. Oh my god.
Hey, your basement trailer is badass, dude.
I'm fucking triggered.
Yeah, I love that basement trailer. Like, it really is fun to hang out in. I'm down there all the time, smoking a bowl, listening to some.
Are you down there right now?
Yeah, no, I'm hanging down in your basement right now.
Oh shit!
Under your trailer. Hey, bro.
This is like there's a creepypasta about this. I think you two are stealing that, by the way.
Yeah, well,
living in the basement, you didn't know about it. That's fucking creepy.
It is creepy to know. So, I mean, it would depend. Like, if I found out like Scarlett Johansson was living in my house and I didn't know about it, I don't know if I'd be that upset.
Yeah, remember the time that we were about to go do? We're gonna film a video, and I was just hanging out in the garage for like 3 hours.
Yeah, no, and you didn't tell me. I just went outside and you were in my garage.
I messaged you, but you're just freaking lazy and don't get to your messenger anytime soon.
No, I sleep like 10 hours because I'm really lazy.
He doesn't have pocket devices, he told me.
Well, he's by his computer 24/7.
I really don't carry a cell phone around and stuff. Yeah, that's true.
No, I know that.
Yeah, I am kind of anti. I'm not anti. I'm just bad with it. It's not really.
But your laptop's fused to your hip.
What are you fucking like 50 years old and these newfangled devices scare you?
I am a little old school.
There's no real benefit to having like a smart opinion. Like the phone's just about keeping connected, just text and talk. That's the most important.
There's no benefit to it.
It's fucking stupid. Like the smartphone always does.
Wow.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Am I the only person living in the year 2017 here in this podcast? Are you guys both in 1984?
No, I'm in 2047, nigger.
Hey, listen, man. I had a BlackBerry up until like a year ago, so I can't talk much. I've been pretty out of the loop.
BlackBerry's a good design. It's nice, reliable, works, does what you need
Well,
to.
the texting on Blackberries is so much better. I like the texting. I like the way the pad. I like the buttons a lot better. But
I guess we should be closing this up soon.
Yeah, we're catching up. Anyway, tell us your Twitter real quick. What's your Twitter, scumbag?
At Scumbag Empire.
And Sharkfoot.
At Expellatron. I'm sure you put it up on the screen if you can't spell it.
Follow me at Vamion. Check out Sharkfoot's YouTube channel. Check out Scumbag's YouTube channel at Scumbag Entertainment. The articles will be linked in the description. I thank everyone who's been listening out there, and we'll see you again next time, and we'll see you assholes later. This was the Patriarchal Bastards.
See ya.